What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wheel of Albums. I'm my brother Adam and our friend Jack. I'm Justin. What we do here on Wheel of Albums is we spin a wheel to 1,001 albums you must hear before you die. Then we get back to you. We let you know it's an album we think you must hear before you die. This week, Jack got the wheel. He spun 1993's debut album from the collective Wu-Tang Clan. And enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers.
So, Justin, Jack, are you ready to enter the Wu-Tang? Are you ready to see what the 36 Chambers have in store for us? Are you ready to try the Wu-Tang style? And do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
Clan in the front. It's time to bring the ruckus. Human Adam, welcome back. How do you feel about Enter the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers?
I feel hesitant. I feel hesitant about listening to this one. I'm not a giant rap guy. Missed the boat on Wu-Tang back in the day. With this one, I'm cautiously optimistic because it certainly comes up a lot as a revered album and one of those ones that constantly are kind of mentioned from the 90s. Try some Wu-Tang style and see if it fits me.
My initial reaction was I was excited about Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. Didn't listen to this a bunch when it first came out, but boy, was it. It was pumping out of different dorm rooms whenever I was in college. All the members of Wu-Tang Clan started releasing stuff separately, and I was like, maybe I should pick this up, and I did at some point. It just fits in with what I like about rap music in the 90s. We got Old Dirty Bastard, part of the Wu-Tang crew, and part of our crew is Old Woodsy. Jack, you spun it. What was your reaction?
The world may never know if Old Dirty Bastard came into existence before Old Dirty Woodsy. We're just never going to know. I don't know a lot of Wu-Tang Clan. I know a lot of members of the Wu-Tang Clan had independent careers. I knew that there was some tie to Steubenville, so I looked forward to give it its fair shake and true listen.
If we're going the yin to the yang, there really was an East Coast, West Coast difference around this time in the 90s. If you take a look at like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and their style of rap led a lot to P-Funk, and it had more of a party atmosphere to it. While here on the East Coast, things were a little bit grittier. And I myself, then and now, prefer this grittier type of sound more than the slick back stuff from the West Coast. One of the best introductions you could get into 90s rap. Do you prefer a style? Do you like the West Coast party style more, or would you go with the gritty nature here that you hear in 36 Chambers?
Where would I fall? I guess I would fall more on the West Coast. I appreciate the gritty nature of East Coast style, but I, for one, kind of like the party style vibe from the West Coast a little more. West Coast's a little more easy to take down, and like for Wu-Tang here, I had to break it down and listen to it like 3 songs at a time instead of trying to listen to the entire album, and that's just a personal thing, I guess, as far as that goes. There's a lot of favorites on Enter the Wu-Tang that definitely, if I was listening to them on shuffle or anything like that. Don't take offense, East Coast. Just my opinion.
Well, the rap I like just some nice old clean rap. Earlier in 1993, there was Hip Hop Hooray. What a feel-good song. Is there a feel-good song like that on 36 Chambers? No, but there's some good songs on here. It was developing into a newer style, a different style, and they had, I guess you would call it lo-fi, because they were doing it themselves. There wasn't a lot of money put behind them, if any money put behind them. But this one, I like the grit. It feels real, and it feels like they are unified in their goal.
So RZA has to be the MVP for coming up with the gritty style, and he pretty much, I think, laid the foundation for rap that came after this. I think he needs a round of applause for being the glue that stuck this album together.
Already remember Cash Rules Everything Around Me. I remember that being out, being kind of big. I didn't know a lot of the other songs on here. I didn't know the title. I didn't know Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to F With was the name of the song. I just thought it was something like the Surgeon General's warning, letting you know that, in fact, the Surgeon General does make the following announcement: the Wu-Tang Clan is nothing to F with.
Kept wanting more and more of the Kung Fu snippets, and was looking forward to that I think the most throughout the album as well. Like, where was another one going to come in?
I think this album does a nice job of being serious and at the same time having fun at the same time. Like, you'll get like a reference to Spider-Man. Here comes some Kung Fu snippets. And it's all done with a production that's a little bit lower in quality than you would hear from a lot of other rap albums. I love this album. You're listening along to it, and the first 4 or 5 songs are good, the vibe, and then you get to the 6th song, The Mystery of Chess Boxing. And from that point on, you're like in this car where the accelerator is down, and from there on out, if you're along for the ride, this is the point, The Mystery of Chess Boxing, where things get good. I mean, really good.
Standout to me, the one that best meshes charm of a group of people, MCs, if you will, kung fu movies, and samples The Mystery of Chess Boxing.
And remember, a game of chess is like a sword fight.
You open up with a movie sample.
You must think first before you move.
And then I believe it sounds like maybe 5 or 6 of the members of the Wu-Tang each get their little pieces to spit out. Old Dirty Bastard obviously being the best because he is the best. ODB. Maybe you know him also as Big Baby Jesus. Dirt McGirt. He has as many aliases as he does felony convictions, ladies and gentlemen.
Doing research for this, something I did not realize before was that RZA used to charge members of the Wu-Tang Clan $100 per verse to help fund recording sessions at Firehouse Studio, where they were holed up recording this thing. Some guys would show up, often paying for studio time in quarters just to get their verses on. Do you guys think that's a sound business strategy? And do you think that helps group chemistry as well?
So I kind of love the story of them actually paying the studio with quarters to get time to actually record, and RZA making the rappers kind of pay $100 a verse to get onto the album. Best rags to riches stories are when somebody does whatever's needed to accomplish something they're passionate about, and this is just a great example of that and should be admired. So even if you have to pay in quarters, live your dream, do what's necessary to try and accomplish what you want to do.
Is that the best way to underwrite your artistic career? No. One of the members, I believe God, cut his verses shortly before he had to go serve a jail sentence. He had to pay a price. Some of the songs are letting you know that crime doesn't pay. Just because they did it and got away with it doesn't mean that you should too, kids. Now, where would a bunch of young go-getters find a bunch of quarters on the streets of New York? Who knows? Probably not laundromat machines. You can't blame artists for following their heart. The heart wants what it wants, and sometimes it wants to break into an old washing machine and take a bunch of quarters out so you can get into the Firehouse Studios and cut one of the most iconic hip-hop records ever.
The fact that RZA had relocated with his mom back to Steubenville, Ohio, which is right across the river from where the three of us were at and where we grew up. I got my first job out of college in Steubenville. Is pretty fascinating to think that the seeds from 36 Chambers enter the Wu-Tang, the vision of it right across the Ohio River from us. When somebody has a vision and he went back to New York City where he found his old buddies and they put something together from the ground up, that's a story that you can really get behind. Top to bottom, I've got many favorites on this album. The 3-pack of Cash Rules Everything Around Me, Method Man, and Protect Your Neck, one of my favorite trifectas on an album in the 90s.
But at the end of the album, you really start to notice the piano more and more, especially on the song Method Man. And then, there's kind of this more demented synth piano twinkle on Tears that I really enjoyed. And then I think the grittiness, really, the beat on Wu-Tang 7th Chamber Part 2, the last track, I really liked. I think those songs with Protect Your Neck, those 4 songs, I was really, really surprised at how well the last 4 tracks of that album sounded. Didn't let off at all. It's a solid album throughout.
Listen to the Wu-Tang. They are nothing to F with.
All right, when you take all the songs from Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers and give them all a score of 1 to 10, divide that by the number of songs on the album, I scored this highest at a 7.25. Jack is next at 5.75. And Adam gave it a 5.5 for a final rating of 6.167. Our top 3 songs, The Mystery of Chess Boxing, Cream and Protect Your Neck. Our least favorite was Can It All Be So Simple?
So must you protect your neck before you die? For me, it's an absolute yes. And while my numbers might say otherwise, I think it's a foundational piece of music that you have to hear to understand East Coast rap back in the 90s. And I think it is really kind of cool how RZA brought everybody together, got these up-and-coming rappers together. And, you know, the whole thing is just fun to listen to. It's produced well. It's got that gritty style. I think it's one of the most enjoyable rap albums I've ever listened to.
It has lower production value, but it has heart. It has drive. It has so much passion. All of these people were lightning in the bottle at that time, and they each brought their own style to it. And it didn't harm the collective at all that they weren't consistent with each other. They complemented each other. You're going to get some drug talk, but it's not quite as boastful as some of the rap. A resounding yes. This album is an album that you should hear before you die. ODB, R.I.P.
I'll make it unanimous. I also think this is an album you must hear before you die. I'm not a big rap guy either, but the albums that I do own, I always make sure that there's stuff that's revered. This album is revered for many reasons, from the lo-fi production to the great verses from all the rappers, from the whole collective. Jack points it out so well that they complement each other. Wu-Tang is for the children. Probably not to play for the children if they're too young. One of the best snapshots of rap music. Not that G-Funk stuff that was going on in the 90s. And that's what I take away from this wonderful album. Can we get one more kick? All right, so 36 Chambers is our 49th album, which means album number 50 is next. Without revealing what our next album is going to be, I will tell you that all three of us spun for this next album. Jack spun War, The World Was Ghetto. Adam spun Dire Straits' self-titled album. And I spun the Jesus Mary Chain's Darklands. We put it to a poll on Twitter about a month ago. Our celebration of album number 50 next time on Wheel of Albums. Hey, if you guys are clubbing in 1993-94, which member of the Wu-Tang Clan is going to be your wingman?
Well, I'm going to tell you who isn't going to be my wingman, and that's Method Man and Raekwon. The torture skit on the track Method Man at the beginning would make me extremely nervous to take dates home with those guys.
Talking up the ladies, I'm going to go Method Man.
He's about to go get lifted.
Obvious choice is going to be ODB. Probably going to be the popular choice. Adam, a big ODB man.
Are you ready to try the Wu-Tang style?
Method Man has that chemistry. He likes a dual relationship. He likes to work as a team.
You realize Method Man is sewing his girl's booty shut and feeding her nonstop just to torture her?
Lift me up.
Justin, you're going to have to tell us what the other two albums are. I don't remember that. If gonorrhea is mentioned, that's a point in favor of putting it on the 1001 albums, and that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on as we move forward.
Gonorrhea also on Dizzy Rascal and Scott Walker.
Getting a little too frequent. Maybe Robert Dimery's got a fetish that we should talk about.